I'd like to introduce myself first. I'm Aparna Suresh. I'm doing a master's in organizational leadership at Gonzaga University, and I'm nearing the end of my course. I have one more final capstone course left, for which I'm doing an internship here at CMU with Ron. And the reason why I chose this particular topic, leadership and vision, is because vision is at the heart of leadership, and purpose is at the heart of vision. And this is at the core of what I've learned, and this is something I would like to share with you. Okay? And since we have a limited amount of time for this presentation, I request you to save your questions towards the end, if possible. Okay? Thank you. What do Alice and Darwin have in common, and what do they share with leadership and the power of purpose? This is something that I'm going to share with you in this presentation. When Alice came to a fork in the road in the book Alice in Wonderland, she met the Cheshire Cat, and she asked him, "Can you tell me which way do I need to go from here?" And the cat replied, "It depends upon where you want to go." And that's so true in life and in organizations too. Where you want to go is what sets the direction for the path that you choose to take. So Alice replied that she didn't care where, and the cat replied them, "You know what, it doesn't really matter where you go. It doesn't matter which path you take. As long as I get somewhere," Alice said, "and well, we'll all get somewhere as long as we walk as long as we walk far enough along any path." So, has anybody heard of Dr. Viktor Frankl? Okay, what have you heard about him?
He is a survivor of Holocaust camps, but his story is compelling. I've not read his book yet, but to understand how he visualized himself in his own living room serving tea as they were doing horrible things to him physically in the camps, is just very compelling.
Okay, he, like you said, Sophie, he's a very famous survivor. He's a Jewish survivor of the Nazi concentration camps. I actually have read his book, Man's Search for Meaning, and it's a great book, and it's a great true story of courage and about how he survived that experience. And the essence of this book is basically what he found out as a result of living in these concentration camps. So I'm going to throw this out to you. Who do you think were the people who were most likely to survive? Whether the younger people, whether Darwin's survival of the fittest or the strongest people, or whether the people who had a burning purpose in their lives? What do you think?
It's definitely the third one in my book.
Yes, absolutely. It's the people who had a burning purpose in their lives, and what he found out was that the people who found meaning in their suffering and who had something to live for, they were the people who survived this terrible experience. And his own experience was that he survived because he needed to tell the story and to share this story of how people could survive in the worst of circumstances with the rest of the world. So that actually provided the purpose for him to survive his own concentration camp experience. So he came to this insight, which is the same as what Nietzsche said, that he who has a why to live can bear almost any house. So that's how powerful purpose is. That's how powerful purpose is. It can ensure that you live in the worst of circumstances. And this is what leaders utilize to bring forth their vision. The most effective leaders are able to give to their people the answers to these three questions, or they're able to help people find their own answers to these three questions. For example, Dr. Martin Luther King and Gandhi, they both had different dreams. For Dr. King, it was civil rights, and for Gandhi, it was freedom for India through non-violent means from the British. And they were able to paint a very vivid picture of identity, and of purpose and of legacy in their own way. For Dr. King, it was a just society and an equal society, and the dream of a future where all citizens are equal no matter what the color of their skin was. And for Gandhi, it was to live in a free nation, to live in a free world. So these are the most effective leaders because they are able to energize people in a way that other leaders can't. They're able to reach to them, to connect with their heart and gut. And to bring this to an organizational context, what leaders are able to do, for example, at Southwest Airlines, the founder, Herb Kelleher, he was able to make Southwest Airlines the #1 airlines consistently, and that's because he could energize his people with the dream that we want to bring an affordable airline that even the common person, the common man on the road will be able to travel anywhere in the States. So that was his dream, and he built a culture based on what he calls love, literally love for his employees and love for the organization. So they are able to energize people far more than other leaders could, because they can offer their people, they can offer their employees the gift of significance. And what great leaders do is they can use their imagination to paint a future for their employees or for their followers, which links their imagination to their dream of what the organization will be in the future or could be in the future, not just how it is. And they're able to do this through bringing a clear purpose to the organization and to their employees, and using that to motivate them to work towards a better future. So in the 1960s, a survey was done of young graduates at Harvard, and what they found was they asked these young graduates, what do you hope to accomplish by the time you are 40? And most of them would reply in terms of what they wanted to have. Like they would have a prestigious job, they would have all the perks, they would have a country club membership. But just a few of them replied in terms of the kind of person they wanted to be at that age. And these were the only people who knew where they were going. They had a clear sense of where they were going. And the same is true for organizations too. So it's not just 10 years down the line that they want to have a great financial future. That's not going to be enough to energize people. What they need is they need to define what kind of organization they want to be, and what it is about them that makes them unique. What is it about them that adds value, that creates added value? And for example, if they shut down tomorrow, would the world miss them? Who would miss them? In what way would they be missed? Would their competitors be able to step into the breach easily, or would it be that it would be very, very difficult for competitors to step up to the gap? So this is really what makes an organization unique, and the entire thing, the entire soul behind this is the vision, and behind the vision is purpose. So it's purpose that is at the core of leadership. It's purpose that is at the core of vision. And I'm going to leave you with a poem that I wrote, which encapsulates the core concepts of what I've talked about. That purpose defines strategy, and purpose frames vision. And vision is something that is used to create unique added value that sets an organization apart from all its competitors. It is something that is absolutely unique and distinctive and at the core of the organization, and that makes the most of its strengths. And that great leaders use vision, they use imagination to paint a picture of what could be. And they also are able to give people a way to make a real difference through their work and in their lives. And this is basically at the heart of what leadership is. Okay, so any questions? I think we still have a couple of minutes for questions. Anything at all? Thank you.
So Dave,